The rain hammered against the windows of Harding's office, a relentless percussion against the silence that had settled after Blackwood's departure. The letter opened a wound throb, a constant reminder of the violence that had become a familiar presence in my life. Lila was gone, vanished like smoke after leaving me bleeding on the floor. I felt trapped, the city a cage closing in. So the Marco, slit plaster in his thinning hair to his forehead, nervously chewed on a thumbnail. "I told you, Mr. Harding, I don't know where she went. She just left." "You saw her leave, so did she say anything? Anything at all?" I pressed, ignoring the nagging suspicion that I was being fed a carefully constructed narrative. He wrung his hands. Just that she had to go. Said she was needed elsewhere." "Needed by whom?" Sal's eyes darted around the room. "I don't know, Mr. Harding. I swear. Please, I just want to be done with this." I let it go, knowing pushing him further would yield nothing more than panic. Blackwood, in his cryptic, dying words, had mentioned a tomb, a dynasty lost to the sands of time, and a locket, a hieroglyphic locket Arthur Munro had been obsessed with. Arthur, the vanished antiquities dealer. "The warehouse," I said, more to myself than Sal. "Number 7. You helped Arthur move some crates there a few weeks back. What did you see?" Sal paled further. "Just crates, Mr. Harding. Dusty crates." I didn't pay attention. "Dig a little deeper, Sal. Did you notice anything out of place? Anything disturbed?" He hesitated and mumbled there was mud. On the floor, near the back wall. I thought it was odd, but I didn't mention it. Mud. I recalled the faint scent of damp earth clinging to the air at the warehouse. A connection. A sign of something recently unearthed. I thanked Sal, watching him practically flee the office. The mud was a thread I could pull, a clue in a labyrinth of deceit. My investigation led me to the museum, a grand mausoleum of forgotten civilizations. Arthur had spent countless hours there, captivated by the hieroglyphic locket. I spoke with the curator, a dry, scholarly man named Dr. Albright. "Mr. Munro was a frequent visitor," Albright confirmed, adjusting his spectacles. He possessed a remarkable interest in ancient Egyptian artifacts. The locket, in particular, seemed to hold a certain allure. "Did he mention what the locket represented?" I asked. Albright frowned. He speculated, of course. Believed it held a key to a lost tomb, a forgotten dynasty. Nonsense, most likely. Just the fanciful imaginings of a wealthy collector. I examined the display case where the locket had been. A faint residue clung to the glass, the ghost of a touch. Lila's touch. Had she been here, seeking answers, or planting a false trail? The mud at the warehouse, the locket, Blackwood's death, Lila's disappearance, they were pieces of a puzzle, each more perplexing than the last. I needed to retrace Arthur's steps, to understand his obsession. His last known contact had been a shadowy figure known only as the Collector, a name whispered in hushed tones among the city's underworld. I found the lead through a disgruntled informant, a low-life named Benny the Weasel Ferretti. He owed me a favor, I bet patent information. "The Collector, huh?" And he chuckled, a wet, unpleasant sound. "He's a ghost, Harding. Operates in the shadows. Deals in secrets, in artifacts. Squeezes information from those who know too much. Where can I find him?" Benny shook his head. "That's the millionth question, pal. He doesn't like being found. But I heard a rumor he's expecting a shipment. Something big. At the docks. Pier 14. Tonight." The docks. Rain lashed against my face as I made my way to Pier 14. The air thick with the smell of brine and decay. A single spotlight illuminated a warehouse, its corrugated metal walls echoing with the rhythmic thump of crates being unloaded. I saw a figure standing in the shadows, a tall, imposing man with a face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat. "Lila, Lila," I said, my voice barely audible above the din. She turned, her eyes cold and calculating. "Harding, you shouldn't have come. Who's the Collector?" She laughed, the brittle, unsettling sound. "He's a businessman, Harding, a man of discerning taste." Suddenly, a voice boomed from the shadows. "Lila, darling, you've brought a friend." The man stepped into the light. He was older than I expected, but his eyes held a chilling intensity. This was the Collector. "Mr. Harding," the Collector said, his voice smooth and dangerous. "I've been expecting you." "What did Arthur Munro find?" I demanded. The Collector smiled. "He stumbled upon something valuable, something that belongs to me." "The tomb?" "Indeed," the Collector replied. "A treasure trove of unimaginable wealth. But Arthur was a fool. He tried to keep it for himself." "And Lila?" I asked, my eyes fixed on her. "Lila is resourceful," the Collector said, his gaze lingering on her. "She has a knack for acquiring what I need." I knew then. Lila wasn't a pawn. She was a player, a master manipulator working alongside the Collector. Blackwood hadn't been a victim of circumstance. He's been silenced. You killed Blackwood. I accused, my hand instinctively moving towards my holster. Lila didn't flinch. He got in the way. The collector raised a hand. Enough. Harding, you've become a nuisance. A loose end that must be tied. Two burly men emerged from the shadows, their faces grim. I braced myself for a fight, but as they lunged forward, a sudden commotion erupted behind me. Sultan Marco, looking terrified but determined, stood at the pier entrance waving a signal flare. The warehouse doors burst open and a swarm of police officers flooded the area, their guns drawn. Sul had tipped them off. A small act of defiance, but enough to disrupt the collector's operation. Chaos erupted. The collector's men scattered, some surrendering, others attempting to escape. Lila, however, vanished into the shadows, melting away like a phantom. The collector, seeing his operation crumbling around him, made a desperate move. He reached for a hidden switch, triggering a chain reaction. The warehouse began to shake violently, crates toppling, lights flickering. A section of the pier began to collapse into the water. He pushed past me toward a small boat waiting at the edge of the pier. "This isn't over, Harding," he yelled over the din. "The tomb will be mine." As he sped away into the darkness, I watched the crumbling pier, the rain lashing against my face. The case was far from closed. Lila had escaped, the collector remained at large, and the secrets of the tomb still beckoned. I knew one thing for certain: my life would never be the same. The city, my city, had revealed its darkest secrets, and I had only scratched the surface. The hunt had just begun. The mud felt cold on my shoes.